Hi, cutie pies. It is Lanikia, and I am coming to you on this Thursday, April the 7th, 2022, with another edition of What Happened on the Stopes. This is the Bold and the Beautiful. Don't forget that I do have work from home videos on the channel. They drop every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. As well as if you're looking to work from home, that there's other videos on the channel as well. All right, guys. So let's just get right into this. Okay, I'm gonna wrap. Okay, so Deacon is with Hope, Brooke, and Liam. So he's with them, and he's just broken the news that Finn has not survived and Steffi has been shot. And of course, they're in shock. They can't believe this is happening. They have no idea what's going on, and so they're like, "How can this be?" And they say, "Well, are they okay?" Hope is like, "They're okay, right?" And he says, Finn didn't make it. And they said, "What?" They're like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, he died. He died before the paramedics could even get there." And they said, as far as Steffi, he told him that she was in critical condition. And so Hope goes over to Liam, and he's just like, she's okay though. And he was like, "No," she's like, "It was pretty bad." And he's like, "What am I even still doing here?" And so he runs off. And then we see that he runs off, because he's got to get to the hospital because, he has Kelly with Steffi. And remember the other day he was talking to Bill about how Steffi is the love. He will always have love for Steffi. Side note, do y'all think they're about to try to do another thing where they're going to try to get Liam and Steffi together again? Like, because I thought about that when he was sitting there talking about, when Bill told him, "You're sitting here married to Hope, but you're saying you'll always be in love with Steffi." I don't know, but let's keep moving. So he runs off to the hospital. And so that leaves Hope and Brooke and Deacon. And Brooke is just like, "I knew something was wrong. I could feel it. I knew something was wrong and it was off." She said, "Well, she ain't going to be this horrible." And so then we see they're just talking, and they're talking about how Steffi has to pull through because that would leave Hayes with no parents. And that would leave Kelly without a mom and everything. And they asked her, "Have you heard from," because this time had passed. They asked, "Have you heard from Liam?" She said, "No, but he's probably just now making it to the hospital." And they say, "Oh my gosh, Sheila, say what you want about her, but that was still she was still his mother." And Deacon said he broke the news to Sheila, and he was like, "What kind of monster would do this? Like, oh my gosh, it's so devastating." Sheila was devastated. And then he was like, "What kind of monster would do this?" and everything. And it's just like, the one you broke the news to, Sheila. So speaking of Liam, we go over to the hospital, and Thomas, he was with the family, but now he had to take a break. So he's in like the waiting area, like where the vending machines and everything are. And Liam comes in and he's like, "Thomas, how's Steffi and any improvement?" And he was like, "No, like they don't know who did it. They don't she's not in the best condition. She still hasn't woken up, and they just don't know," is what Thomas is telling him. So that pretty much wraps up those people in the storyline. So then you go to um, Steffi being in. They show Steffi in the hospital room, and then on the outside of the hospital room, it's Sheila and Taylor. And we pick up where we left off with these two, as far as Sheila telling Taylor, "I'm there. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And then, she tells her, "You lost someone too. And, you lost Finn. And I'm so sorry, Sheila. I know that heartache because, she lost her own child." And then she tells Sheila, "Well, I have to go because I don't want to leave Steffi alone in her room too long." So she goes in the room. And so when that happens, this is before Thomas had left. Thomas and Ridge were there, and Lee comes in, who is Finn's adoptive mom. And she comes in, and she sees Sheila. Baby, she started marching towards Sheila. She was about to kick her right out right there. But Ridge stops her, and he just tells her, "I'm so sorry for your loss and everything." And he just tells her Finn was a good man and they're going to keep his memory alive. And she says thank you, and I'm here because to support Steffi. And of course she's there for because of Finn, but she wants to support Steffi as well, because she says she knows Steffi loved him and everything. And so then Sheila comes up and she says, Lee, we lost our son. And Lee is like, no, 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 ma'am. No, ma'am. We did not lose a son. He's my son. And Sheila was like, I would like to see him one last time. And Lee said, no, you're not going to see him. He's mine. I got it from here. Like, I'm taking care of him from here. And Sheila is just like, Lee, I know you're hurting and you lost the son. She said, we both lost the son. I loved him too. And then Sheila gets to saying, what kind of, and what happened tonight was an accident, because she's thinking about herself. And Lee said, this was not an accident. Someone murdered him in cold blood and shot Steffi and everything. And she says, yes, I know. But, it is an accident. Sheila didn't mean to do this, but she's done it now and she's not confessing. And it's kind of sick that she's at the hospital with all of them. Like, Sheila, this is going too far, but I'm here for it. So she's messing up her words, because she can't, Sheila can put on the act, but she can't come out of what she's done when it comes to Finn. So yes, she calls it an accident because she didn't mean to kill him. And so, but Miss Lee is not having it. She tells Sheila, no, ma'am, you're not seeing him. This is my son. He belongs to me. I took care of him. I raised him. I turned him into the man that he is. You had nothing to do with that, ma'am. So go on. You're not seeing him again. And so then we see that Taylor comes out. Taylor comes out of the room, and she just tells, before Taylor comes out of the room, she was in the room with Steffi, and she was telling Steffi that, she loved her. She needed her to wake up. You have to be strong now. And she starts singing, Steffi, your favorite song that I used to sing. It was always like when she had bad dreams, as a child. And she started singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And I thought it was going to be another song, but okay. Okay. But she started singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and then Ridge comes in, and then she's had her moment with Steffi. So now that Ridge is there, she leaves out, and she sees Lee, because Lee and Sheila was going at it. Because Sheila was acting like, if you watch it, Sheila was acting like crazy Sheila again when Miss Lee said, you will never see him. You're not going to see him. You're not his family. So then Taylor comes out, and she comforts Miss Lee, and she just tells her, I'm so sorry. Finn was such a good man. And she tells her, I've lost a child too in a tragic way. And I understand the pain you're going through. And Miss Lee tells Taylor, yes, I know you understand. So then they're comforting each other, and Sheila comes up and she says, Taylor, is there any improvement? Oh, before that, Lee asks, was there, any change? And Taylor is like, no, she's still not waking up, and we're just talking to her and trying to get her to wake up. And if you look at the scene, Sheila was interested in that. So then Sheila comes up, right? And Sheila was like, Taylor, how's Steffi? Any change? And she's like, no. Now this is, and Steffi, and Sheila says, well, when Steffi wakes up, she'll be able to say who did. No, she said if, and then she changes it to when Steffi wakes up, she'll be able to say who did this to her and everything. And Taylor was like, right now we're not worried about that. We're just waiting on her. We just want her to wake up. So then Sheila says, but your mother, so you understand, you lost a child, so you understand how it feels, to lose a child. So you understand why I want to see Finn one more time. And Lee said, not, I done told you, you're not seeing him. And Taylor looks, and she's just like, oh, what? She looks at Miss Lee. Taylor gonna convince Miss Lee to do this. And Sheila, you wrong for this, because you've killed Finn. You put Steffi in the hospital, and now you're hanging around the hospital And I guess it could be expected of Sheila to do this, but girl, this is like, now you want to see him one last time and you put him where he is. Like, what are you doing? And then for Steffi, for you to be asking how she's doing and saying that she, if she comes out of this, oh, but no, when she wouldn't be able to name her shooter or who did this to them. And then Taylor says, we're just praying that she's okay. And see, that's why you don't have everybody pray for you. Like, you don't need Sheila's prayers. You don't need them, because her prayers are completely different. She's praying that nobody ever finds out she did this. But that was the bold and the beautiful today, guys. I will see you tomorrow for another edition of What Happened on the Soaps. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I hope you have a great rest of your evening.